Hi, and welcome to Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Hey, this week's been kind of running a bit late, been doing a lot of things, been busy, uh, had some other things that came about, and just wanted to, talk to you a little bit about the finishing up of the kind of the local tournaments in Australia leading up to the Australian Open tennis this coming up next week. So should be a very good tournament. Everybody getting geared up for that also. And what I'd kind of like to talk about too, and what do you guys feel? I kind of like the idea with, all the little, the little kind of funny, fluffy, kind of fun tournaments that the players do play. Then as far as smaller tournaments during their time off. And it's kind of fun tournaments that you get to see a personality of the players themselves. And so that it's not a real serious tournament or anything like that, but they just tend to like what they're doing with those kind of smaller tournaments. And then also the United Cup, which has been going on for a while, which I think is kind of a nice little format and kind of fun for a lot of the countries to get together and play in a format that's kind of a team format. And basically what it is, it's a team format, and you have the men and women playing, and then mixed doubles. And that's the only three formats that they have within that. But this year it was the United States, and they had Spain, they had Argentina. That was in Group A, and that was actually being played in Perth. And then Group C was Italy, France, and Switzerland. And then Group E was Great Britain, Greece, and Japan. And then they had in Sydney, they had Group B, which was Canada, Belgium, and China. And then Group D was Australia, Czechia, and Norway. And Group F was Germany, Poland, and the Netherlands. So those were all the groups of different countries that were playing in the United Cup. And then it's basically based on a men's singles draw, and then a women's singles, and then a mixed doubles. But if you happen to have like one wins and then the other loses, you're 2-2, and then the mixed doubles is the deciding to who wins it all, who wins the match of the particular thing with that too, and stuff. But you had the U.S. The U.S. was going into this with let's see, I think it was Poland and Switzerland, and the U.S. and Germany, I believe, they all went into it 2-0 going into the finals and the semifinals going into it. And then what happened is it came down to USA going to see who was going to go to the finals. And last year, actually, USA beat Poland. And then this year, actually, Poland ended up turning the tables, and then they made it into the final in which they ended up playing Switzerland, of all things. And then with Switzerland and then Poland, and actually this year, Poland ended up winning it this year after 2 years being in the finals the last 2 years, the 24-25. And now 26, they ended up winning it. And it was with the players of Iga Swiatek, Herbert, Hurkacz, and then their mixed doubles team that they chose to play mixed doubles. And then this year, Iga Swiatek, she actually was kind of playing okay. But she did have some losses in the United Cup to Coco Gauff and also Belinda Bencic, which is a very good player. And she came back after a baby last year or a year and a half. And then she's been playing really very good. along with that. And some of the women out there that are having children and then coming back and playing has been wonderful to see. And some of them are coming back just as strong or stronger after having a child. So it's been really nice to see some of that happening throughout this all. And with that, then Iga had lost, and then it got down to Herbert Hurkacz. And Herbert, he ended up coming back after the late summer 2025 season. He ended up hurting his knee. And it was kind of like a torn meniscus in a way with scar tissue over it from a previous meniscus tear and operation. So they cleared that out. And then when he came back, and this is the first time he's come back in the United Cup, in that respect for coming back from an injury. And he has put a lot of work outside of the courts, working out tennis and playing all of that good and training and everything prior to coming back to the United Cup. And he came back and he won all of his matches that he played this year, and even beating Taylor's Fritz in 2 sets of all things. He was playing very good and came back very strong, and not even an indication that he had any knee problems at all. He's one of the very good players. He's one of the players also that came back whenever we were all coming out of COVID, and he was one of the 4 players that ended up playing the little 4-man tournament that they had drones, no audience, but they had the tennis coaches, but they had drones taking pictures of the court from up above and watching the play that was being done there. And that was just really a good tournament. That was something well wanted coming out of that time of that. It was Herbert Hurkacz, Tennis Sandgren, Tommy Paul, and Riley Opelka. Those were the 4 players. And tennis was one of the first sports that was coming back from that was out and came back first thing, one of the first sports that came back to start playing and having people watch, and they had it on TV, and it was a big turnout with the TV audience on that with that. But you tubers, just be sure and like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube channel. And then you podcasters, be sure and also like, subscribe, and comment. And with you YouTubers, you'll see the racket of the week that will be coming up, and then you'll hear about it. And then if you want to take a look at it, you can just go to my tennis channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and look at the racket itself. And myself, I've been coming out of the tennis injury myself, and I had the elbow right there that broke the elbow bone. But I'm coming back, getting better. I can move it fully now. It's just now kind of having to get back and starting to hit the racket, hit the ball, and seeing how it feels and how weak it might be. But I feel that I'll be able to start hitting the ball fairly decent. And just got to be careful, and and then probably ease into the serve and stuff, and seeing how that goes. And then hopefully get back into, waiting for the summer circuit and everything like that. But with that, I've really liked doing my tennis podcast over the last month with the players that I've had on it. And it has been a fun thing to be able to do and get the players that I've been able to get on my podcast. But if you guys like that, if you like me getting the players and having the interviews with the players like that, let me know, because I would like, comment, and subscribe for you YouTubers, and you podcasters out there, like, subscribe, and comment with that. But also, I'd like to, in Brisbane, they also had a tournament in Brisbane. And today was yet another final that Aryna Sabalenka was in. And she took on Marta Kostyuk. And then she ended up winning 6-4, 6-3 in that match to final. And then that is actually her 22nd career singles title, which is pretty darn good. And that's actually her second Brisbane title that she's taken now. So that's kind of got her on a upper swing. And actually, the semis right before that she took on the finals, she actually kind of got a little bit of revenge from the Australian Open last year when she beat Madison Keys 6-3, 6-3 the day before. So kind of got a little bit of revenge, but maybe hopefully Madison will kind of shake the rust off and get back out there and hit her peak again in the Australian Open and hit that ball clean like she did last year and beating the people that she did last year. She's one of the better players that can take the racket out of your hand. Another one to look at. And what do you guys think about Amanda Anisimova? She's really came on this year too. So keep out the watch out for her and Madison Keys and some of the others. And actually, you can watch out and, take a look for Sophia Kenin. And she's starting to come back a little bit. And always nice to see her fiery determination on the court also. And then with that, you still got Sinner and you got Alcaraz. And those are the top two. Who do you think in this mix, who do you think might be, on the cusp of making it the big three? I know that Djokovic is kind of listed kind of that way, but who might take over his position? And it would be Alcaraz Sinner or Sinner Alcaraz. And who do you think? Make a comment, like, subscribe. And then with you YouTubers, like, comment, subscribe. You're going to be hearing the tennis, or the racket of the week coming up here pretty soon. But just kind of wanted to, ask about that aspect of it, and that I do like what I'm doing here with my podcast. I've been enjoying it in my third year, trying to keep it going and trying to get the interviews that I get. And do you like the interviews that I do with over the phone? And make a comment on that. And I like doing it, like doing the research and all of that aspect of it too. With that, and with the fact is that coming up on the Australian Open, that would be a good bucket list for me to go on. That's one on the bucket list. I got one of my bucket lists that I've gone 2 years in a row to the U.S. Open Fan Appreciation Week and got to see the one round of the U.S. Open, which was really fun to see this last year. And then with that, Australia would be a good little bucket list tournament to go see and try to catch it and see what I could do to go see something like that. And then kind of also another thing that I would like to do, and that's kind of one of my things I would try to do, is also then either catch the French Open one time and catch that. I got my passport, so I can travel, and that'll be nice. So that works out all the way around with that aspect of it too. So, with that too, I'd like to get here with the a racket of the week here today. This week actually is it's a very sturdy, still nice racket. It's a Slazenger racket. Slazenger, and it has a Puma on it, and that's how you can tell it's Slazenger. And it's a professional line racket, and it's a medium 4 5/8 grip, so it's a bigger grip. But I like it. It fits my hand, fits my grip really good. But this is the kind of a grip that they used to have on it years ago. Pure leather grip with the just to be able to have the leather, but that got slick. Really slippery if you sweat too much, and it slip out of your hand quite a bit. But it's a very straight racket. I like the color of it. It's probably ash with the laminated curved wood laminate or layers that they had there, and it's a tournament frame is what it says. Of course, then it has these strings that were actually back in the day that were kind of more used for string savers back then before they came up with the real string savers. Has the regular nylon string in it. It's still strung really tight and really good. You could probably get out there and hit with this ball pretty good. Still hit the ball pretty good still with this racket. So it's a very good racket. Still has the ribbons here too, just in the side part of it here. And the ribbons actually were kind of a symbol of back in the wood era rackets in the 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s. About the 70s, late 70s, they quit doing the ribbon things, but these were actually known or thought to kind of give the stability in the lower part of the racket. And they used to have like ribbons here or this part that's here, and they used to have them about here and then sometimes about here on the racket itself. But it's a very nice it's a light colored racket, probably ash, a very hard wood. That way, but it's I like the black Puma on it, Slazenger in black, and then in the red it says professional, and then it kind of has the little red thing right there. But it's a very good racket, very nice and straight racket too. So with that, if you like that, if you like what I'm doing with the racket of the week, and let me know that as far as that goes on the racket itself. Is with that, if you like that, like, subscribe, and comment. And then you podcasters out there, if you want to take a look at the racket that I'm talking about, then take a look at it. You can go to my tennis podcast, Tennis Volley Talk, with that. And then with that in mind too, being it's a Slazenger racket, and Slazenger, was founded in 1881 by brothers Ralph and Albert Slazenger, and it was actually moved. They moved their rainwear business to London and began making tennis equipment to capitalize on the new sport of the lawn tennis thing, and that's how they just kind of began to start this, to kind of capitalize on the lawn tennis back in the day. And then in 1902, it became an official supplier of tennis balls and rackets to Wimbledon championships back in the day, because they were the official ball, and then the championships for Wimbledon there. And a legendary unbroken partnership, they introduced the bright yellow balls for the Wimbledon championship in 1986, is whenever we finally got the bright bright yellow balls, and that's became the standard for the game today with those balls. Started in 86. Other than that, it was a Slazenger, but it was a white, seemed like a white wool ball. Back in the day, it was a wool, but they did have, and it was all white tennis balls back in the day. So with that too, that's the racket. It's a very good racket, very sturdy. Like I said, you could probably get out and actually hit a few ground strokes, and pretty good with that. And if they have in local tournaments in your area, that'd be kind of nice to. If they did have a throwback tournament, that's one of the rackets you could use. You could use a mini variety, the old 60s, 70s rackets. You could use the Stan Smith or the Jack Kramer racket. You could use a Damier racket like Borg used to use. And you could use the Prince racket. You could use also Wilson racket. You could use the let's see, of course, then the Slazenger, and with different kind of rackets and from the wood era, that'd be kind of a good little thing to. Oh, the Davis rackets too. You could do that also, and then the really nice Schnauert racket. And I think the Schnauert was what Brian Gottfried used to play with, the Schnauert. And then with that too. And very good rackets to see and have. Like I do when I have my collection here. So anybody, if you YouTubers and you podcasters out there, like, subscribe, and comment on my tennis volley talk. And then you podcasters out there, if you want to take a look at the racket that I showed you today or you heard about, take a look at it on Tennis Volley Talk, and like, subscribe, and comment on that. And with that, just if you like that, if you do like the aspect of having the racket of the week, and then also the the interviews that I do over the phone, which I do like doing, because for me it's kind of it was for me in starting the podcast just for fun and doing it because I wanted to do it, and then it's kind of turned into more of a grassroots with learning somebody's tennis history and story, and along the way getting to talk about tennis also. So with that, thank you very much. And if you're out there in the southern states, it's where it's warm still, in Texas and Florida, and maybe Oklahoma a little bit too. So get out there, still play, and hit the ball. For us here, wintertime, and we got to find the inside courts to play on. So everybody, you take care, and thank you again for coming in and letting me talk to you about tennis and my podcast, Tennis Volley Talk. Everybody have a good week, and I will talk to you this coming up week. Have a good week.